Hey, I'm Carl. Today's topic is the plucking hand, or the right hand technique, in my case. This is how I usually teach my students to pluck the strings of the bass guitar. And a lot of these concepts or ideas are already everywhere around the internet. You probably heard those if you've played the bass for a while. If not, that's great. And if you have, then I guess it doesn't hurt that much to kind of go over all the basics. Plus, you haven't heard it from me, so here we go. I teach the alternating fingers technique, usually. So that means you alternate between the first and the second finger, index and middle finger. So go index, middle, index, middle, index, middle. That's very important, I feel, that you do that you don't just pluck with the one finger at a time. That's something that you can do, and it's not wrong, but I would rather say that it's nice to begin with alternating the fingers, just to get used to it, to get the speed if you need it, and then advancing from then on to playing basically however you want. Why not? So you're alternating between the index and middle finger, and the next question is, or the question actually before that would be, where to position the thumb. I usually tell people to put it on the pickup. On a P bass, you put it here. On a jazz bass, you could put it here near the neck or near the bridge pickup. So, needless to say, the sound is going to be different. But I think that it's really important that the thumb is anchored somewhere, so you have contact with the bass at all times, and you don't get like this, like you don't know what to do with the thumb, and then it gets really confusing and maybe bad technique and etc. So take the thumb, put it on the pickup, and next you're gonna not pull the strings. I would rather say that you press on them. So you try to go through the string by pressing on it, like pressing into it. And this is called a rest stroke, even though there's no string for the finger to be rested on. But I find that if you press like this, you could also rest it to whatever hits your finger first. So it might be the pickup. If you're doing it like somewhere here, it might be the body of the bass. And I think that's already like kind of good. What to avoid, definitely, besides the thing that you don't have your thumbs anywhere, and this is a thing that I see a lot, is people first of all, they take their thumb away from the bass and then they start plucking like this, in a guitar finger style manner, which is also not wrong. It's just something that you do after you've learned kind of the basics, or I would say it's better to learn the rest stroke and then go on from there. So yeah, finger on pickup, alternating fingers, and pressing on the string rather than pulling away from them like this, for example. Looks something like this. Nice, and then you move on. So the next string, we're going to go through all the open strings, so you can just hear, and I can show you what to do with the right hand and the thumb as you're moving. So next thing to do is basically you do the same thing on the A string, and you pull again through the string, or rather press on the string. And here you get to rest the finger on the string below it. So if you pull the A string, you rest on the E string. You also get this little thump from the inertia of you pulling the string, pulling through the string. The string kind of lets go of your finger and it creates this sound. And I feel that kind of gives more concreteness and a clarity maybe to the bass tone. So it takes a little while to maybe get used to it, but still, for now, keep the thumb on the pickup and pull the A string as many times as you can. I like to keep my fingers rested on the E string when I do this. So the finger that's not doing anything is not like going everywhere, but it's staying here on the E while I move my next finger to pull. You can do this very slowly so that you can do it very fastly or quickly in the future. Alright, next thing, take the thumb, put it on the E string. You can also try to pull the A string or press the A string while holding the thumb on the E string. But basically what the next thing would be to do is to move on to the D string with the pulling. Now why did I put the thumb here? Because this is now muting the E string. You're muting the E string, and when you pull through the D string, the rest stroke is going to mute the A string. So now you have these under control while this one can shine. Nice. Next one is the G string. Now this is you can try to play with still holding the thumb on the E string, but what I would recommend is for you to try to move that thumb from the E string to the A string so that the tip of the thumb covers the A string, mutes the A string, the side of the thumb mutes the E string, and when you pull that, do that rest stroke on the G string, either that index or middle finger, they're going to be resting on that D string. So the only string you want it to hear will be ringing out. It will be the only string ringing out. You could also keep the thumb here. It's not like a big deal, but maybe you can hear that. A little bit of that overtone on the A string. You could try to mute it with the ring finger or the little finger. That's also like a common thing to do, to keep these under control however you want. But for now, I would say if you're playing the G string on the G string, then just put the thumb on the A string, side of the thumb on the E string, and then you have everything covered. Okay, that's basically how you do it. I would that's like the first part of this exercise. The bigger bulk of the exercise, let's say, I'm gonna do like, let's say 8 times of each string so you can see how it works for me. Thumb nice. So that's great. The other half would be to do the same thing, but then you add your left hand because it's more comfortable and easier that way. If you start coming down with these, with the same exercise, let's say, then it makes sense to have that left hand as the muting device, let's say, muting tool. So if you play, let's say, the same 8 times of G string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then actually this right hand is really ready to be playing the next string already. It's like, yeah, let's go to D string, of course, yeah. But this G string is still like kind of ringing out. So, and it's kind of difficult to mute it like right before, with the right hand, right before you start playing the D string. So this is where the left hand comes in. So I would play, let's say 4 times G, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I put my hand on the G string to move on to the D string. 1, 2, 3, 4, do the same thing. And this can happen while I'm playing the next string already. So I'm going to do that with the A and E. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So at that 1, I pulled the E string and I touched the A string with my left hand. And it's going to be the same thing with the E. So the full exercise would be to go up and come down. Going up, you need to really kind of think about the right hand muting and where the thumb is moving, when the thumb is moving, and think about the clarity of the notes that you're plucking. If it's like, they should sound the same. They should really sound dynamically the same. They shouldn't be like really all over the place rhythmically. And when you come down from the higher strings to the lower strings, then really pay attention to the muting of the left hand, and then you're gonna be all good, hopefully. Okay, so I'm gonna do this exercise once through, and then you can see what I'm doing clearly. So E string, put my thumb on the pickup, alternating 8 notes every time, 8 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Next one. I'm muting with the thumb, the E string, the D string. Jump with the thumb. Now you're coming back down, left hand, muting, playing the D, muting the D, playing the A, muting the A, playing the E. And you can do this forever. Just go back up. Etc. So there's actually like no rules as long as you feel comfortable, as long as the strings don't ring out, because the bass guitar especially, it gets really muddy, and that's actually like a problem with beginners, that the strings just ring out. So yeah, try this out, go for it.